Welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of Chaos Child. We had ourselves a nice excursion outside, and we saw the final optional delusions in the game. But things could still happen. We ended up spending a lot of money, sure, but after we bought everything we needed, we'd run through quite a bit of cash.
これは明日から節約生活ね。
Nono sounded kinda happy. She'd been like that for as long as I'd known her. The worse a problem got, the more excited she was to solve it. That was one of the reasons everyone counted on her so much. It was a phone call, but my phone was silent in my pocket, which meant...
ごめん、私。
Nono took her phone out and looked at the screen, then put it back in her bag.
誰？
気になる？
違うよ。出なかっただろ。だから。
川原くんからよ。
川原くん？
時々かかってくるの。いつから学校に来るんだって。
なんだよ。
別に。
Weirdo.
あ、そうだ。ねえ、そういえばさっきのお店で福引きの券もらったわよね。
ああ、そういや。
多分この辺でやってると思うんだけど。
Normally I never paid attention to the things even if I got them, but Nono always did. She was always kind of like a housewife that way.
あれじゃないですか。
Yamazoe pointed to a small tent where a man was outside yelling.
ほら、タクルも行こう。
僕はいいよ。あんなの昔から当たったことなんてないし、尾上はよく当たってたけど。
That's pretty funny. I remembered Sarika again.
もうそんなこと言わないで。ね。ほら、一頭は最新型ポケコンだって。
Nono had very clearly heard what I said, but she was talking like nothing was unusual at all. That made me feel a lot better.
お願いします。
お嬢さんたち兄弟かい？
わかります？
そりゃあそれだけ仲良さそうならわかるってもんだ。
ねえタクル、私たち家族に見えるって。でも嬉しいけどちょっと残念かな。
はい、じゃあ全部で4回ね。
あ、はい。4回だからちょうど1人1回ね。タクルもやるのよ。
わかったよ。
Sad. Why?
あ、それじゃあ最初は僕やってもいいかな。
ええ、どうぞ。
じゃあ行くね。残念です。僕2等の携帯ゲーム欲しかったのに。
ああいうのは当たらないようにできてるんだよ。そもそもちゃんと当たりが入っているのかどうかもわからないんだ。
そうなの？のの姉ちゃん。
そんなことないわよ。ただそんなに簡単には当たらないでしょうね。でも私はこれで十分。
Nono patted her 24 rolls of toilet paper and smiled. That ain't bad. Yamazoe and Yuto laughed. Only then did I remember. That at night, Yuto always used to cry, or suddenly break out screaming. The trauma he'd experienced during the earthquake had given him scotophobia, the fear of darkness. But ever since we'd moved, that hadn't happened. Even after he'd lost his sister and adoptive father. Of course, part of that was due to Yuto's own efforts, but it wasn't possible to get over a phobia just by working hard. A lot of it was probably thanks to Nono. Nono had become more of a mother than ever. She was looking out for everyone. That's why Yuto and Yamazoe were able to smile.
はい、タクル。炊飯器で焼いたケーキ食べるでしょ？
うん。
タクルはマウンテンビューがいいのよね。ユウトはミルクで、ウキちゃんは紅茶。
あのさ、ノノ。
When I said her name, she stopped what she was doing and turned around. And smiled.
まだそうやって呼んでくれるんだ。
当たり前だろ。ノノはノノなんだし。
The days passed peacefully. Why did I want to be special? I didn't need to be special. I didn't have to be special. Kurisu had always told me that, so why did I only notice now? How stupid had I been? Several more peaceful days passed. Shinjo would contact me once in a while, but all he ever asked was if Serika had contacted me. That meant that the police hadn't found her either. I couldn't let my guard down, but nobody was capable of staying on edge 24 hours a day. And with everything that lay ahead of me, I couldn't live in fear of Serika forever. I had some savings built up, but it wasn't enough for 4 people to subsist on forever. I checked the employment sites for a good part-time job. Customer service was out of the question. Yeah, so was anything involving physical labor. I looked for something that dealt with information, but of course I couldn't find anything. Ironic. Part of me thought about asking Kunosato if she needed help with Shibuya News, but from the look of her apartment, she probably didn't have enough money to hire me either. Yeah, that's the problem. And not at all that she hates our guts and doesn't want us around. No, wait. If we put more ads or something on the Shibuya News page and tried to get some affiliate income? Suddenly there was a knock at the door.
Takuru.
Nono was in the center of the room sewing something. She tensed up. Only a few people knew about this apartment. Or could it be Serika? I silently motioned for the others to gather in the corner of the room, and softly went to the door and reached out for the knob. But before I could open it, the door flung open from the outside. I knew it.
なんだ、開いてるじゃん。
は?
Peeking through the door were Arimura and... Excuse me? Okay, give me a second. I don't think it would be Shinjo or Momose. And I doubt she's hanging out with Kunosato. Huh. Gen for no reason, but she wouldn't interact with him. Oh. It's so obvious and I missed it.
有村さん、それに和樹も。あ、チャオス、お久しぶりっすね、先輩方。
お前ら何しに来たんだよ。
あらまたこらまた。全然学校に来ない上、連絡すらくれない先輩方の様子を見に来た可愛い後輩2人に向かってずいぶんなご挨拶じゃないっすか。
いや、それには事情が。
なるほど、ふむふむ、ここが先輩方の愛の巣ってわけですか。
Arimura grinned wickedly as she stared at the room.
愛の巣って何言ってるの。私たちは家族みんなで。ああ、とにかく上がっていいっすか。お邪魔します。
She came inside without waiting for an answer or even taking her shoes off. She never did listen to what anybody had to say.
というわけで、遠慮なくくつろいでね、花。
有村は少しぐらい遠慮しろよ。
ああ、お構いなく。私、安物のお茶でも気にしませんから。
This girl.
それにしても、これはまた思った以上のボロさですね。世界遺産ものですよ。
At this point, I was wasting my time even trying to say anything.
ユウトもウキも元気そうで何よりね。
お久しぶりです。おかげさまで。
The two of them looked relieved to see the identities of our sudden visitors.
まったく、二人とも相変わらずね。安心したわ。
Nona must have been happy to see them because she had a big grin on her face.
学校の方はどう？先輩たちが来ない以外は普段通りぼちぼちですよ。ねえ、花。
I didn't really care about school, but Nono was the student council president. He must have been bothering her.
ていうか、お前らどうやってここが分かったんだ？
Oh, okay, now that's a concern. When it said only a few people knew about it, I assumed they would be included.
あ、やっぱ気になりますそれ。
I've been trying to keep it a secret, so of course I did.
聞いたんですよ、新庄さんに。
Well, it turned out to be a simple matter.
最初は知らないってとぼけてましたけど、私にそんな嘘ついても無駄だっていうのに、ほんと学習しないんだからあの刑事さん。
That is kind of funny. So we'd had no choice but to tell her then. Or he could say, I'm not supposed to tell you.
ってことは、人通りのことは。
いやー、やられましたよ。まさか私の能力を知ってて、のらりくらりとかわされてたとはね。敵ながらあっぱれです。
I knew instantly that she was talking about Sarika. Not saying the name was probably her way of trying to make me feel better. She was more delicate in things like that than you might expect because she'd spent so much time worrying about what other people were thinking.
それにしても、先輩も物好きっすね。よりによって隣が。
There was a pounding on the wall before she could finish her sentence. Konosato did threaten to do that.
ダメよ。見た目通り壁薄いんだから、全部聞こえちゃうわよ。聞こえちゃうっていうか、聞いてるんじゃないですか？ほら、コップとか壁にくっつけて。
More pounding. Maybe Aramura was right. Oh no. Are we gonna have a wall pound off? Because Hana might win that.
こら、カズキも対抗心燃やして壁殴ろうとしないの。
Just having the two of them here made this place feel like the club room.
そうそう、それでですね、私たちが今日やってきた目的はですね。
Aramura suddenly stood up and left the room.
ねえ、花も手伝ってよ。
Yeah, I figured they brought something. Now it was Kazuki's turn to disappear. The two of them carried a large object into the room.
ちょっと、これって物質の。
It was the map we'd used to track the case.
なんでわざわざこれをここに？
花がどうしても持っていくって言うんだもん。
和樹が？
先輩たちが後ろでワイワイやっててくれないと、円数やってても張り合いがないんだって。
Fair enough.
でも先輩たちは来ないでしょ。だったらこっちから出向くしかないってなわけで、これからはここが物質ということで一つ。
Huh. How selfish could you be? Yeah, like, Uki and Yuto have nowhere to go. Maybe someone else might let her get away with that, but...
一つって見てわかるでしょ。ここにいきなりそんな大きなものを持ってこられても困るわ。
See, the Empress wouldn't.
でももう持ってきちゃったんで、あとは捨てるなりなんなり好きにしてください。
Nono sighed and shrugged her shoulders. She must have realized she was wasting her time. Hinea Aramura could be a very scary woman to deal with.
それでは反対もないようなので、ここに碧峰学園新聞部出張所の発足式を行いたいと思います。
Aramura took out some Mountain View from the fridge and began to hand it to everyone. I mean, okay, but just watch that people don't follow you here. I didn't even feel up to complaining anymore.
皆さん準備はいいですか？
Kazuki applauded mechanically, a blank expression on her face. That's great.
それでは乾杯。乾杯です。乾杯。
Plastic bottles hitting each other didn't exactly make for a good toast.
どうしたの有村さん。宮代先輩とクルス先輩はここで毎晩しとねを共にしてるわけですよね。
Wow.
しとねって変な言い方しないで。
共同生活をしてるのよ。ほら兄弟なんだから普通でしょ。それにユウトとウキちゃんも一緒だし。
Kazuki must have found Arimura's words funny because she was holding her stomach and laughing. I never did understand her sense of humor.
なるほど、4人で一つ屋根の下ですか。楽しそうですね。そうだ花、私たちも一緒にここで暮らそうか。
Damn, she's really pushing it.
は？
Is that a brand new expression for Takuro? What was she talking about?
あのな、僕たちは別に遊びでここに暮らしているわけじゃないぞ。
そうよ。それにこの部屋にこれ以上人が増えたらとてもじゃないけど暮らしていけないわ。
And again, I hate to break up the family, but I did mention before that if we went back to our RV, it would lighten the load a little bit. Maybe a couple people could go to the RV, and the rest could live here.
ああ、そうですか。寝るところなら何とでもなるし、みんなでお金を出し合えば家賃だって一人頭換算少なくて済みますよ。
That is true, but this sounds like a freaking nightmare. Also, I know Arimura doesn't like living with her current relatives, but what is Kazuki's situation? For some reason, Kazuki was nodding rapidly in agreement. I do not understand her.
そんなこと言ってもだな。
それに、ほら、見てくださいよ、今のこの状態。
Arimura stood in the middle of the room and spun around, her arms outstretched like a stage actress. Did you catch that with her profile picture? She just flipped all around.
ね？
何がね、なんだ。
もう、ニブチンさんなんだから。いいですか？今この部屋の中には男子が2人、女子が4人。いわば宮代先輩のほぼハーレム状態。
Practically means it isn't, though. That's pretty good. Oh god.
お前たち。
Guess we're all dead. Yeah, like, Arimura is too much energy. We cannot live with her with all these people. And Kunosato might kill somebody. Kunosato burst through the door and screamed.
隣で騒ぐなと何度も言っているだろうが、いい加減に。
ああ、いいところに。ねえ、あなたも一緒にどうですか？
Oh my god. What is happening in this side branch? Arimura is just testing everybody.
一緒に？
またまた、話聞いてたんでしょ？みんなで一緒に暮らしませんかって話ですよ。
Sure, we could do 7 people. I mean, if we split across 2 rooms, but we're not doing that. Nobody's doing that.
お前、頭に虫でも湧いているんじゃないか。どうして私がお前たちと。
生活費、楽になりますけど。
That is true, but I don't think she'd think it's worth it. She fell silent. This is shocking. Wait, was she seriously considering it?
冗談じゃない。どうして私がお前たちと共同生活を送らなければならないんだ。バカも休み休み言え。
I mean, I don't know Japanese, but the way she said hell no sounded like, no. Like, there was something about that didn't sound really like putting her foot down. See, she shot the idea right down.
とにかく、これ以上やかましく騒ぐんじゃない。次に騒いだら、脳に電極ぶっ刺してやるからな。
Kunosato slammed the door shut loud enough to bother the other neighbors. It didn't seem like she was joking.
ほんと、相変わらず冗談の通じない人。
お前たちが無駄に騒ぐからだろ。
失敬な、無駄なんかじゃないっすよ。私たちにはれっきとした重大な用が。ああ。ん？実はね、今日来た理由はもう一つあって。
Arimura slapped her hands together as if she'd only just remembered.
伊藤先輩のお見舞い、行きません？
We'd heard that Ito had been released, but I didn't know that he'd recovered enough to meet with people. He was still considered a person of interest in the case, so they were refusing most visitors, but Arimura said we could get Shinjo to let us in. For his part, Shinjo probably hoped that we could get some information from Ito. And if Arimura was there, we could tell if Ito was telling the truth. That is true, but, like, again, if he believes it, then it'll fool Arimura. I wanted to know how Ito was doing, too. We decided to have Yuto and Yamazoe stay with Momose while we were gone. Good move. She'd already taken care of Yamazoe before, so we knew it would be safe. Ito's room was on the top floor of the hospital. There were detectives stationed around the floor, but Shinju must have sent word because they let us straight through.
伊藤。ああ。
Ito looked up at us from the bed and grinned, just a little. This is different.
宮代。それにみんなも来てくれたのか。まあな。で、どうだ調子は。
This is surreal. Like, in the normal path, I don't think we ever saw him again. We heard him over the phone regretting his actions and everything, but I don't think we saw him again. The last time we saw him, we slammed his hand into the ground and broke his fingers.
調子か。体調は悪くない。と思う。
I'd expected Ito to be barely conscious, but his color was good and he didn't seem to be in a lot of pain. But
思ったより元気そうでよかった。あ、これお見舞い。果物くらいは食べられるんでしょ？
ああ、悪いな。気を使ってもらっちまって。
it felt like the energy that had made Ito himself had vanished.
それで、その。
I started to talk and then fell silent. Yet this is extremely awkward. From what I'd heard, Ito had lost all of his memories of the incident. I wanted to see if that was true, but how to ask?
その、ゆいちゃんのことだろ。覚えてるのか。一応な。刑事さんにも聞かれてるしさ。
I couldn't tell if he was smiling or crying.
ごめんな。俺がちゃんと守ってやれれば、ゆいちゃんだって助かったかもしれないのにな。え？
Yeah, that's off-putting. Protector? Like he was the one.
伊藤君、ゆいが助かったかもってどういうこと？
え？だって、俺の目の前で殺されたんだろ？彼女。
Oh boy. What was going on?
悪いな。本当に覚えてないんだよ。俺、この数週間の間、何があったのか。なんというのか、こう、ありがちな言い方だけど、もやがかかったみたいっていうかさ。だから正直、なんで自分がこんなところにいるのかもわからねえんだよ。
I looked at Arimura. She nodded silently. That meant he was telling the truth. Suddenly, Ito looked around the room in surprise.
あれ？そういえば、尾上はどうしたんだ？
Fair question.
なんか静かだと思ったら、あいつがいないからか。何かあったのか？あ、いや。
ちょっとね、学校で居残りだって。
あいつらしいや。
伊藤先輩にもよろしく伝えてくれって言ってましたよ。
そうか。まあ、顔見られないのは残念だけど、そのうち来るよう言っといてくれよ。病室ってのはどうにも退屈でさ。
If he didn't remember, there was no need to force him to.
伊藤君、
悪い。久しぶりにいろいろ思い出そうとしたら、ちょっと疲れたみたいだ。
That still happens?
そう。それじゃあ私たちそろそろおいとまするわ。
わざわざ来てくれたのに悪いな。いや、いいんだ。気にするな。
Ito sank down into the bed and smiled at us weakly as we left the room. Unfortunately, it was true that he didn't remember anything. No, he hadn't just forgotten. He'd replaced the bad memories with ones that were better for him. But he was a victim too, in a way. It wasn't right to blame him and force him to confront the truth. I felt conflicted about it, though. Would Nono and I ever truly be able to be friends with him again? Yeah. I wondered about that as I headed for home. Nothing happened for the next 2 days. Sarika was still leaving us alone. It might be time for me to head back to school. But with Yuto and Yamazoe to worry about, maybe it was still too soon. And then she showed up again. What? Oh.
チャオッス先輩方。あ、ウキッチもユートッチも。
チャオスです。
She'd won Yuto and Yamazoe over too.
それで今日は何しに来たんだよ。
あらまあ、ずいぶんとご挨拶ですね。この前言ったじゃないすか。ここが碧峰学園新聞部出張所だって。
The corkboard was already situated behind us. I couldn't see it from here, but I would if I looked around. It made the whole place feel cramped.
部活はそれぞれの自主性に任せる。だからわざわざここに来る必要はない。そもそも有村、お前文芸部だろ。
いやー、文芸部で培った文章作成のスキルを新聞部でも役立てればと。それに今日は頼まれ物があってわざわざ来たんですからね。感謝される言われはあれど、文句言われる筋合いはないはずですえへん。
Arimura puffed out her chest proudly.
頼まれ物？
残念ながら宮代先輩ではなくクルス先輩に。
私に？何かしら？
さあ、ただこれを渡してくれって川原先輩が。
川原くんが？
They're really pushing Kawahara this time. Just as Nono took a stack of handouts from Arimura, her phone began to ring. She looked at the screen and ignored it. I didn't intend to look, but from where I was sitting I caught a glimpse of it. It was Kawahara, the person we were just talking about. What is going on in this branch?
いいんすか?
Because she blushed about it the previous time.
後で折り返すわ。
生徒会関係のことかも。
それはちゃんと全員に連絡して滞りなくやってもらってるから大丈夫よ。
What did he want then? Nono's phone rang again. And there's a knock. And at the same time there was a knock on the door. If that was Kawahara on the phone, who was at the door? Was it Sarika?
タクル。
Tension filled the room. Again. It's not going to be Aramara, she's already here. With the phone ringing, we couldn't pretend that no one was here. Should we answer or not? Just as I finally decided to stand up and answer it.
クルス、いるんだろ？僕だ、川原だ。開けてくれ。
What? You're calling and you're here. How do you know we're here? It was Kawahara, the boy who was calling on the phone.
突然訪ねてきてすまない。でも、こうでもしないと会えないと思ったから。
Kawahara bowed as he came inside.
もしかしてさっきの電話は。
イルスでも使われると困るからな。悪いとは思ったけど、確かめさせてもらった。
What is going on with this guy? In a cheap apartment like this, you could hear the phone ringing from the hallway. He must have figured that out. But why did he have to go through all this trouble? Maybe Sarika was controlling him just like she'd done with Ito. Either way, it would be best to be careful.
それから気づいているだろうが、有村に頼み事をしたのも、クルスたちの住んでいる場所を知るためだ。そのことについても謝る。
So she was followed.
そうだったんですか？待って、それじゃあ私、つけられて。
She evidently hadn't noticed. I whispered in her ear.
おい、嘘はわかるんじゃなかったのか？
だってこれ持ってってくれって頼まれただけで、それだけなら嘘じゃないし。
Maybe that is a coincidence, but I don't think Kawahara should know about our powers. What a useless power.
その川原くん、どうしてそんなことを。
Nono glanced at Yuto and Yamazawa, who were shaking in fear in a corner of the room.
決まってるだろ。クルスが学校に来ないからだ。
I mean, really though?
だからそれに関しては言ったじゃない。今は大変な時だからって。
大変なのはわかる。でも、だからっていつまでもこうやって休んでるのはおかしいだろ。
それにはいろいろと事情があるのよ。
事情？だったら、その事情ってやつを説明してくれよ。
それは。
Why is he pushing this so hard? She fell silent. She certainly couldn't tell him that Sarika might be after her life.
俺には相談できないことなのか。
ごめん。
もしかしてそいつのせいじゃないだろうな。
Kawahara looked at me.
そうか。やっぱり宮代のせいなんだな。また宮代がクルスを巻き込んでるんだろ。だから学校に来られないんだな。そうだな。そうなんだろ。いや。
I wanted to say something back, but I couldn't. It was partially my fault, after all. Sarika had done all this because she'd thought it would make me happy, which meant that the reason we were stuck here was my fault.
おい宮代。俺は言ったな。クルスを巻き込むなと。いや、違う
の川原くん。タクルのせいじゃないの。
だったらなんで来られないんだよ。
それは家族のことだから。だから川原くんには。
家族って言ったってどうせ本物の家族じゃないだろ。
I could see Yuto freeze in the corner of the room. Yamazoe was next to him, rubbing him gently on the back. Kawahara hadn't noticed the change that had overtaken the rest of the room. He was still talking.
宮代だって今一緒に住んでる奴らだって所詮は家族ごっこだろ。そもそも付き合いなら俺たちの方が長いはずじゃないか。
やめて。
なあ、子供の頃俺たちいつも一緒だっただろ。俺とクルスとそれから南沢と。俺はさ、あの頃から俺はクルス、お前のことが好きだったんだよ。
Another shockwave went through the room. This is off-putting. It was a sudden confession of love. Of course, even I knew that Kawahara was in love with Nono, but I didn't expect him to say it in front of so many people. Even Arimura was stunned into silence.
もう一度言う、クルス。俺は君のこと。
待って川原くん。その話はまた違う時に。
いや、証人もいることだし、この際だからきちんと言っておく。俺は君が好きだ、クルス。
川原くん。
なんでそんな困った顔するんだよ。
だって
お前だって分かってただろ。俺がお前のこと好きだって。
それは
子供の頃だって俺は本当はいつだってお前と二人でいたかったんだ。南様の存在も邪魔だった。こいつどこかへ行ってくれればいいのにって思ってた。
Yeah, that's how you win him over, Kawahara.
でもお前はいっつもあいつを暴れんで、どこへ行くにも千里も一緒に千里も一緒にって。俺がどれだけあいつがいなくなればいいって思ってたかわかるか。
Nono's face twisted in pain. It must have hurt to hear him talk about her friend like this. Normally Kawahara would have picked up on that. But after coming out in front of so many people and saying that he liked her, blood must have rushed to his head. This still seems out of character, though. I don't like this. Like, he followed us to our apartment. He might be possessed right now.
とだ。やっとあいつが南沢がいなくなってくれたと思ったのに。そしたら今度は家族だって？冗談じゃない。宮代なんかより俺の方がずっとお前のこと知ってる。お前のこと分かってやってる。なあクリス。
Kawahara looked straight into Nono's eyes. I could see that his eyes were a little bloodshot.
もう一度言う。俺はお前のこと好きだ。俺の気持ち受け入れてくれるよな。
Nono glanced around the room looking upset as everyone watched in silence. Finally, she frowned and bit her lip.
川原くんの気持ちは嬉しい。
それじゃあ。
でもごめんなさい。私、川原くんの気持ち受け取れない。
どうして？
Kawahara's voice rose in anger.
どうしてだよ。宮代か？こんな奴のどこがいいんだ。
そういうところよ。
は？
タクルは私の弟よ。そうやって弟のこと悪く言われて喜ぶ姉がいると思う？
弟だって赤の他人だ。
でも私にとっては大事な家族なの。
Nono.
彼女の千里のことだってそう。私は別に彼女のことを憐れんでたわけじゃない。だってあの子は私の大切な友達だもの。それにあの子はもう死んでしまったのよ。死んだ友達のこと悪く言うなんて。川原くん、あなたどうかしてる。
Kawahara looked like he was about to say something, but then he closed his mouth in frustration.
お願いよ。今は帰って。
クルス？
He's gonna be the next guy who comes at us with a knife, isn't he? It's gonna be Arimura all over again.
お願いだから帰って。少し頭を冷やして。そうしたらいつもの川原くんに戻ってくれるって信じてるから。
分かったよ。今日のところは帰るよ。
He headed for the door
クソ！
and smashed it shut as he cursed. The tension drained from the room and I could finally take a breath. I don't know, I'd be feeling that silence for a while. That was uncomfortable.
ごめんね、みんな。嫌な思いをさせて。ユウトも怖かったよね。僕はのの姉ちゃんが断ってくれてよかったって。
私もあの人苦手です。
It didn't seem like Kawahara was very popular. I mean, even early game he had to stick up his ass, but this is like way over the top. Not that I didn't know why.
タクルもごめん。
いや、僕は言われるのは慣れてるから。
もう。そうだ、お茶入れよ。ね、気分変えましょう。
The tiny room was soon filled with the scent of British tea, and peace finally returned. Except...
有村、どうした？
いえ。
Arimura would sometimes look at Nono as if she was thinking about something. Okay. This is gonna bother me. Oh, not the tips list, the backlog. When did Arimura say ... in that conversation? I wasn't with Senri out of pity, she was my friend. And then she ... it. Huh. I don't know. But we're through. And then the next day... I guess we'll have to find out later, because for now it is time to stop the installment. Well, we certainly made a lot of progress today, didn't we? We went home, we had a good time, Arimura and Kazuki showed up, although that means that they know where we live. We visited Ito. That was awkward, although he doesn't appear to remember anything. But then Kawahara came in and just declared his love for Nono in front of everybody and was a jerk and weirdly out of character. And he also followed Arimura to us so he knows where we live. I do not like this. I bet you this is Serika's doing. I mean, I could easily be wrong, but if it's that easy to follow Arimura here, that's not a good sign for later. Until next time, everyone.